Hello again, Jamaica. Welcome to the Jamaica Patriotic Alliance. I am the great defender. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? With these words, I greet you once more, Jamaica, the diaspora, and the world, in the powerful name of God Almighty. We have many things to talk about, and every day it's something else. And when it comes to Jamaica, Jamaica is literally a drama country. But we believe in saving what's left of Jamaica. And when I talk to my fellow Jamaicans, they all agree on one thing. We need new and better leadership. They all agree that the country is running down. I want to point out the fact that your coastlines are not safe. The government have not surrounded the country literally with coast guards and workers, people to prevent guns and contraband from coming into our country. The ports of entries, the airport is run by foreign entities. The wharf is run by foreign entities. And so therefore, foreigners can bring what they want to bring in your country. You are sitting ducks. And the government is selling you out inch by inch, acre by acre. The country does not have social programs in place to help the people. The minuscule social services that they do have is just to help a handful of people. And like I've said before, we have to cast a wide net if we want to save our country. We have to begin to educate the youths in the schools and nurture them come through the school system. There has to be food stamp programs to help the single mothers of Jamaica to feed their children adequately and nourishingly. And so these children can learn. Jamaica is one of the few countries in the Western Hemisphere where if children don't have lunch money, they can't go to school. And we believe that government should motivate and inspire parents to send their children to school. Free education should be for all. The burden Jamaican parents go through to pay school fees is unspeakable. I'm lost for words to describe the burden that some of these parents go through to pay these school fees. And I believe that this kind of money should be saved for their college tuition. However, because of the lack of colleges in Jamaica, the lack of universities, then high school seems to be the substitute for people who want to go to university. But we need upper level education, university education for youngsters, and we need to take our youngsters off the street and make them into nation builders. Some will come along with us, some will not. Some will protest, some wants to be on the corner. But for those who are willing to transform their lives and to inherit a better country, if we get involved in the political landscape of Jamaica, then I'm sure that Jamaica will be a better place, because the people that have lived in first world countries and see how these countries are run are willing to impart the knowledge to Jamaica and to have Jamaica elevate its status on the world stage. As it is, we are moving in a declining mode. We are going backwards. The young men that you see on the corner that become gangs after a while, after a lot of assembly there, they were born from someone. Somebody carried them in their womb for 9 months and bring them out. And so therefore, they too deserve an opportunity to change their lives and to become a part of the nation building. Some will not want to change, some like the corners. But for those who wants to change, then they should be given the opportunity to change. Those who don't want to change, we can say one thing to them. You cannot lead us. So that's it. You have to either follow us or get out of the way. If you cannot lead us and you don't want to follow us, then get out of the way. And so we say to Jamaica, every single person in Jamaica wants a better Jamaica to live in. The social programs we spoke about to assist the youngsters, the children especially, to come into adulthood in a very dignified way. There are no programs to help the single mothers across the island. And we believe that the country should be giving a welfare and food program stamps for the equivalent of approximately $20,000 to $25,000 per month to single mothers and single fathers who are taking care of the children, to assist in feeding these children adequately. We should not be a country with hunger children. And then the programs that, the social intervention programs where there have to be experts who will be able to evaluate these youngsters and to identify their strengths and weaknesses, identify who's got autism and different conditions that some children are born with and are growing up with. A lot of our children are not diagnosed, and so therefore they cannot assimilate in a normal society. So we have to find these weaknesses and we have to address them. Hence the need for education, because we have the same people that you see unemployed could become experts in psychiatry, psychology. They could become experts in dealing with children, child services programs. These are the people you take and train them for free. So you got to come up with the remedy of 2 universities per parish. 2 universities or colleges per parish to take these people off the street and throw them right in universities and teach them, train them. And once they get the training and they have the incentive to stay off the streets, because now they've got training and they have a job to do, to help to build their country. Social services are very important in building a country. But we have to feed the nation and keep the nation fed and educate the nation. Jamaican governments are too stingy. They just want to give you a belly full on one day, and that's it. After you vote for them, they don't remember you anymore. So it's up to you, the people. If you want to sell the future of Jamaica for a belly full, then don't change anything. But if you want a better country for your children and grandchildren, you have to start calling out for change. These politicians are too cocky, they're too boastful, they're selfish and egotistic. They're not the typical material that you need to lead your country forward in the 21st century. Jamaica is very talented, but people, when they put their minds to anything, they do the best at it. And we are not utilizing our people. Those guys you see standing on the corner, if you ever take them and train them, put them in a program of national development, you will see. And that is why it's important to militarize the youngsters that are coming out of the high schools, because that is where you're going to now create the muscle to enforce the laws of the land. So you will have to go through your high schools and militarize the youngsters. And then they will be able to effect what we call attitude adjustment, where the people that don't want to fall in line, we will have the method to bring them in line, or else they will be punished. So we have to create the numbers we need to develop our country. We have to rebuild Jamaica. And so the people with the ideas and the know-how to build a country has got to come to the fore. We need the people who know about nation building. And so my proposal for the social services to be injected in the Jamaican society, and we have to look at healthcare. People cannot afford healthcare in Jamaica. People are sick and dying because of little things like antibiotics. And in the 21st century, and a country in this part of the world, with the pool of talent that we have, there's no reason why Jamaicans shouldn't be able to afford health care. And I believe every Jamaican should be given a health card that they can go to the doctor, the hospitals, or wherever, and get proper medical care. Touching on the health sector, there need to be more hospitals in Jamaica. There are not enough hospitals. And we need to train the youngsters, stop this CXC qualification nonsense and this nonsense about you have to go to either UWI or UTech. Put universities across the island and educate your people to build their country. This is where the problem is, and we'll solve it. The military, we have to double our military. We don't have enough soldiers in the country to protect our coastlines. Jamaica at this point should be on a war footing in terms of we can be invaded by any outside country and we can't help ourselves. The guys that you see are in gangs and things, they are willing to team up with any outside forces to reap havoc in Jamaica, because they like to pick on the unarmed people, the people that has no weapons. And I can go on and on. The licensed firearm system in Jamaica, it stinks. We need our citizens to be armed so they can protect themselves from criminals. But all in all, there's no planning going into the running of the country. The country does exist, and if we want it to be better, we will have to plan. We will have to put the people in place that can plan and who knows how to develop a country. These programs, our leaders are not familiar with them. And so we ask the Jamaican people, if you want a better Jamaica for yourself and your children and grandchildren, we have to save what's left of it now. I ask you, if you want a better Jamaica, join the movement, share the word, share the videos, send it around. Let's start gathering the support we need so that we can make some noise and get on the ballots in Jamaica and change the course of history and put our country in the proper direction. As it is right now, we're heading towards a cliff. Everywhere you look, the locals are kicked out, pushed in their own country, are treated like second and third class citizens. Jamaica is only being enjoyed by foreigners. The people who live in Jamaica cannot afford to go on the North Coast for a weekend with their family. And it's such a beautiful place. People abroad knows Jamaican countryside better than the Jamaicans because they cannot afford to go there. They just cannot afford it. And so we have to bring affordable living into Jamaica and make Jamaica a first world country so everybody doesn't want to run away. And this is where we are at. We need to come to first world status. That way we don't have to run to first world countries to help to keep those countries strong. We can stay in our Jamaica and build our Jamaica because we are treating the people like people. The people are running, even the gunmen are running from Jamaica. Pretty soon it will only be tourists and politicians left in Jamaica. So I ask Jamaica this. Do you want what's left of Jamaica? And do you want a better Jamaica? If so, like, share and subscribe. Spread the word so it can be heard. Let's take our country forward. Thank you.